This is a 333-floor vertical prison, where the lower you go, the worse things get. Once the platform reaches a lower level, the food has already been eaten by people from the upper and middle floors. Assigned to the 181st floor, Annie immediately felt a sense of disappointment along with David. As expected, when the platform slowly descended, the food plates were already scraped clean. Since the floors are reassigned every month, David and Annie could only endure the hunger. But soon, David, who already had weak kidneys, began to show signs of physical deterioration. Without food, he started hallucinating. In an attempt to end his suffering, that night, David chose to set himself on fire and jumped into the pit of the prison. Little did he know, at the very bottom of the prison, a group of people were quietly sighing. A month later, Annie was lucky enough to be reassigned to the 51st floor. Her new cellmate was a one-armed woman who strictly followed the prison's rules. However, when the food arrived, it was already devoured by the people on the floors above. It turned out that last month, a barbarian had occupied the second floor, eating excessively and destroying others' food. Realizing that her previous cellmate David had been killed by others, Annie decided to teach the barbarian a lesson. The one-armed woman took a steel pipe from the bed and planned to join Annie in the fight. When the platform reached the 52nd and 53rd floors, Annie recruited 3 more people to join the battle. However, when they arrived at the 54th floor, they discovered that the barbarian had cunningly killed one man right away. Fortunately, they had the advantage of numbers and managed to drive the barbarian back to the 55th floor, where they finally subdued him, rendering him incapable of further resistance. To their surprise, the barbarian began begging for mercy. Softened by his pleading, Annie chose not to kill him. But the next moment, the barbarian performed a somersault and jumped off the platform, escaping to the next floor. What they didn't expect was that the next day, a group of loyalists arrived on their floor, preparing to punish them. It turned out that Annie and the others had broken the loyalists' rules the day before, and now they were here for retribution. Annie was upset when she heard this, because she had only wanted to teach the barbarian a lesson, not cause any trouble. However, the leader of the loyalists wouldn't listen. He accused her of acting on her own and breaking the rules. The leader then ordered his men to grab Annie's arm and, using the platform's descent, had one of her arms severed.